Good evening, gang. Okay, so we previously this week just learned about how to identify the slope and y-intercept in the equation y equals mx plus b that makes lines. M is again the slope, and slope is that rise over that run, or more commonly change in y over the change in x. And b is your y-intercept, so 0, comma b is that number at which it crosses the y-axis. Here's your y-axis. You're looking for this number right here, which is 0, comma b. We've also learned how to go from equation to table to graph. If we don't understand this y equals mx plus b, we're doing this right here, the equation to table to graph. Today, I'm going to talk about how to write the equation, write the slope-intercept form, that's what this y equals mx plus b is, from a graph. All right, everybody should have their notes out. You're going to go ahead and title the slope-intercept form from a graph, keyword from a graph. Your essential questions, what are the two things? There's two things that you have to be able to identify from the graph of a linear function to write the equation in slope-intercept form. Here are the 3 steps that I'm going to follow through each time, and that skeleton equation in step 3 that I'm talking about is y equals mx plus b. It's our outline. Every time you are filling in that outline, you're filling in slope and you're filling in y-intercept, so 0, comma b. If I went too quick with those vocabulary, please pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and start with our next examples. We're going to write the equation from y equals mx plus b, that's your skeleton. And the first thing that we have to identify, so step 1, is we have to find the slope or the intercept. I'm going to start with the slope, so m equals, and I prefer to always figure out what the change in y is first, so how much it goes up. This picture tells me that first they went the change in x, and then they did the change in y, but I prefer to go change in y first, which is 2, and their run, change in x, is 1. So I found the slope is 2. The second step now is to find the change in y, so we're going to find what b is. Sorry, not change in y, sorry, the intercept of y. So 0, comma b, and 0, comma b is right here where we're finding 0, comma 2. You see a 0, comma number? It's 0, comma 2, so b is 2. The third and final step is to plug in these numbers that we found right here, the slope, the intercept, into our skeleton equation. So last but not least, y equals, m is 2, so I'm going to put in 2 for m, x plus the intercept is 2, so I'm going to plug in 2 for b. And we're done. You made the equation. Number 2, first step, find the slope. The slope for number 2 goes down 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm stopping at -5 because that's where our next point stops. So change in y is down 5. Oops, what am I saying? Down 4. Went back and recounted that. Down 4. The change in x, the run, is 1, 2, 3. Leave it as this improper fraction. We are happy as improper fractions for the purpose of being able to rise and run by specific amounts. Step 2, that b, where x is 0, was also given to you here. 0 is -1, 0, comma -1. So b is just -1. Step 3, plug in both numbers we found in step 1 and step 2. Y equals -4/3. X is on the outside, -1 or plus -1. All right, let's go ahead and go to example 3. Now, what happens if you're given 2 points and not given the graph? You can graph it really quickly. We all know how to graph. You don't have to be given the graph in order to figure out what the slope and what the y-intercept is. Actually, right here, 0, 5 is your y-intercept because it states x is 0. Therefore, it means it's crossing that y-axis at 5. So we already found b. B is 5. How can we find the slope now is the question. So that was step 2. Now, how do we get from step 1? We've talked about last week how to find the slope from a table. So I'm going to make a quick table. And the change in x from 0 to 4, I'm choosing the 2x values from our ordered pairs. Our change in y goes from 5 to 5, choosing the y values. Okay, our change in y is plus 0. Our change in x is plus 4, so our slope m is 0 over 4. What's 0 divided by 4? 0. Our equation for this one, step 3, y equals m, step 1, 0x plus 5. Let's go ahead and simplify it. Y equals 5. And you're done. You made the equation. What I need you guys to do now is pause your video and try A and B on your own. And when you're ready to go over your answers, resume and I will tell you the correct equation. All right, guys, thank you for pausing this video. For A, you should have that y equals, the slope is down 3, and to the right 4, leave it like that. X, and the intercept is -2, so plus -2 or -2. B, y equals, your slope is up 1 over 4, leave it as that, x plus the intercept was 3. All right, go ahead and answer what are the 2 things that you need to know in order to make the equation, and then go take your checkpoint. I hope you guys have a good night.